cocktail shaken. Cocktails on the fly. I'm your flighty hostess, Alberta Straub. Hey, welcome aboard. This is our second leg of our journey to Flighty Bloody Mary Land, or AKA Flighty Cooks a Meal, haha. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an infused vodka for our Bloody. Everyone likes hot Bloody Marys, right? But we don't want them to be too hot. We don't want to blow out our tasters. We don't want to tongue burning. We want to be able to have some flavor, and that's the important thing. So I've been experimenting with this vodka for a long time. Now, I don't want you to think that you have to do it exactly the way I do it. You can add as many kind of variations as you want. This is just a general guideline. But let me tell you, there are some tried and true things that I've found out through many, many, many years of R&D. That's what they call it. Isn't that great? I'm a bartender. What does my R&D to consist of? Taste testing, super fun. Okay, so the first thing that I learned when I was making this vodka is that I don't want just simply a hot flavor. There was, back in the day when I first started doing it, a couple of commercial pepper vodkas out there. And one of them specifically, I'm not going to mention any names, this one specific one, you taste it and all you taste was heat. That's it. And that's not what I'm looking for in a Bloody Mary vodka. I don't want it just to be hot, although I like it hot. I want some flavor there, okay? So just let me tell you a little story about the first time I made it. Basically, we all know if you cook, well, I don't cook, but I still know when I'm serving a cocktail that the way things look is almost as important as the way they taste, you know, guys, right? Okay, so anyways, what I do is I got some peppers. I didn't know anything about peppers. I got some jalapenos. I wanted it to look good. I packed this container with jalapenos. I filled it to the top, and boy, it did look good. People would look at it and go, oh, what's that you got brewing? And I'm like, oh, it's my Bloody Mary vodka. It's not ready yet. But let me tell you something. You've got to be very careful about the type of peppers that you put into your Bloody Mary, because without knowing it, without checking, all of a sudden you could have a little cocktail emergency on your hands. So let me tell you what happened. So I had packed my thing with jalapeno peppers. This was a Saturday. You know, on Saturday afternoons, Flighty didn't have much to do, doing a little taste testing, R&D. Then she's off for a couple of days. She comes back. A guy comes in. He's like, I want a Bloody Mary. I hear you guys make good ones here. I say, yes, we do. He goes, I like it hot. I say, sir, it's going to be hot. Don't you worry about it. But he keeps insisting. He wants me to put Tabasco or this and that in there. And I'm like, sir, just taste it. It's going to be hot. But he didn't believe me, and he kept insisting. And you know how sometimes you get a little sarcastic when you get a little tired of people who don't trust you? Get a little sarcastic. I made the drink. I busted out my Bloody Mary vodka that's been sitting there for a couple of days. Now, I tasted it before I left, but I didn't taste it when I came in on the Tuesday. And I poured his drink. I made it for him. He takes one big drink of it. And I could tell he had that skeptical look on his face. He takes one big drink, and then all of a sudden, his face drains of color. He told me later that everything started going, wah, wah, wah. And this big dude had to put his head between his knees for about 15 minutes before he could talk again. I'm feeding him milk, hoping he doesn't sue me. So you got to be careful, okay? So I've experimented with a bunch of different peppers, and I've come upon ancho chili peppers. Ancho chili peppers provide a light heat. Now, it does get hotter the longer you let it age, but it's a light heat with a nice smoky flavor. So we're going to put those in first. So we got the ancho chilies. You only need 2. You don't need to pack your whole thing with the chilies. And I'm going to put some fresh lemon peel in there. Ba-bam, okay? And then I'm going to put a handful of fresh cilantro. Here we go. I'm going to put in some lemongrass. Okay. And then some dried orange peel. You know what? I'm just going to pour this whole thing. I was going to say a tablespoon. No, but you know what? Pour the whole thing in there. It's nice to have a citrusy, tangy, hot heat, okay? And then 4 bay leaves. Now, I always use fresh California bay leaves, but I read a little article that's talking about these Turkish bay leaves and how much flavor they have and how they're not just overwhelming. So Flighty's going to experiment with these. You know, live and learn, live and learn. So there we go, R&D. See it? See R&D in action. Okay. And then we're going to put in some of these allspice berries. Super yummy. A little bit of juniper berries. As you know, you might know, they're very cleansing to the kidneys, so we can toxify and detoxify at the same time. And then a pinch of this cumin. I like to use the whole seeds. You know, I don't want a bunch of cloudiness going, okay? And then this fabulous stuff My producer took me to the super fun spice bazaar and I discovered black cardamom. Now, Flatty loves cardamom. This black cardamom, the way they age it, or they cook it over a fire, so it has kind of a nice smoky feel, but once you bite into the inside, it has a nice old cardamom spiciness. So I would throw those in. So you got smoky cardamom, and then a pinch of garlic, pinch of celery. Now be very careful about celery. You know, you eat celery, you're thinking, celery's like water. Who cares? You can throw a bunch of celery in there. You wouldn't get any flavor. But you know what? I've learned through R&D that celery can overwhelm a batch of vodka or a Bloody Mary mix very, very quickly. So you just use a pinch, okay? Just a little pinch. And then some coriander. Alrighty. Now, and then you add your vodka. Vodka, vodka, vodka. Now, I want you to know the quality of the vodka that you put in is very important. Now, I know we're not all made of money, but you know what? Just like they used to say back in the old days in the computer times, garbage in, garbage out, that's true for your infusions. Don't put crappy vodka in your infusions. You can really taste the difference. Even if you've got a fruit flavor or overwhelming, you know, kind of almost overwhelming hot heatness, you can taste the vodka. You can taste when you put a good vodka in. You know what, I used to think that you couldn't really tell. Sometimes I would slip in a little one that wasn't so good. But you know what, I can taste the difference, and I know my customers can, and I know you can too. So put in a nice vodka. Sometimes I like to even use like the Sky 90. The higher proof pulls out the flavors more quickly. So for example, if you've got a party in the afternoon or whatever and you're making your vodka in the morning, just in that short amount of time, if you have a higher proof vodka, you can get the flavors out. So this is the end result. This one's been sitting overnight. Now the thing is about this vodka, you can keep tasting it because people have different tastes. And the thing is you're looking for the heat, but you're looking for also a dynamic flavor. So if you've tasted your vodka and you feel that it's as hot as you'd like it to be, pull out the peppers, but let it age for a little bit longer with the other spices so you can have a full, rich tasting vodka. Okay, just experiment and try different things. That's what Flatty does, and that's what you do too. So be careful, all right? Peppers are hot. All right, cheers. Leg 2, done.
Bloody Mary vodka. In a large glass jar, add 2 ancho chilies, lemon peel, handful of fresh cilantro, 2 stalks of lemongrass, 1 to 2 teaspoons dried orange peel, 4 bay leaves, 1 teaspoon each juniper berries and whole allspice, 4 black cardamom pods, pinch each of garlic powder, celery salt, cumin seeds, and coriander, and a bottle of good vodka. Let stand overnight. Delicious and spicy.
Cocktail shaken.